Hello. Halloween is coming, and I'm here to help you plan and help you get into the holiday spirit. So, for a lot of us, we think, well, it's a little early. It's in October, but Halloween isn't until October 31st. But if you plan in advance and get ready with decorations and think about costumes and ideas and some art projects that I'm going to tell you about and more, you can really enhance and expand the holiday season. And you can have more fun too. So, and I'm having fun just thinking about Halloween. So I had to pull out some of my fun things to get started. So I'm Dr. Ellen, and I just love helping empower parents. And Halloween is a great time to be empowered because we really do want to spread the joy with our kids. And you know what? I want to remind you that as parents, you're entitled to have joy at this time too. And I'm going to be talking about that and reminding you as well things that you can do to enjoy Halloween yourselves too. Because it's really not just for the kids. Halloween is for all of us to enjoy. And so, again, I pulled out some of these special things so that we can all remember Halloween is for the kid in all of us. And we should all have an opportunity to celebrate. And I think when we celebrate, our kids enjoy it as well. So, again, welcome. I'm so delighted to have people join me and to start bringing the spirit of Halloween to everybody. And again, I'm encouraging people, don't wait to the week before Halloween or the day before Halloween or the night before it. Because by planning advance, there are so many family togetherness activities and bonding activities we can plan with the family, with the community, with friends. And I'm going to even talk about some educational and learning activities you can kind of slip in that your kids will enjoy and won't even notice as much. So I'm here to help you stack all of them together. Again, I'm Dr. Ellen Ettinger, and I really want to encourage you to get into the holiday spirit and not wait until the last minute, not wait until the day before or the night before. Don't just leave Halloween to the question of what costume do you want to wear and go online and buy the costume, and that's it. I'm going to share 3 secret tips about Halloween planning. I'm going to talk about planning for decorations around the house, planning costumes, planning discussions with kids, planning trick or treats, some art projects that I think will be really fun to have around, and how to stick in those educational and learning opportunities. And at the end, I'm going to share some safety recommendations. And oh boy, I'm going to have an eye popping view for you. So make sure you do stay until the end. There's really going to be an eye popping view, I promise. So let's talk about planning decorations around the house. And I also, by the way, want to encourage you, if you're watching this, please put in the comments section some plans that you have for Halloween. I'd like to know what people are doing. So what kind of decorations are you posting in your home? What costumes are your kids going to wear? I want to know what the hot costumes are for kids around this season. What costumes are the parents and adults going to wear? So I want to see lots of comments if you're watching this. Let me know what's going on in your life and your plans and thoughts about Halloween. So planning decorations can definitely help everybody get into the spirit of Halloween because you're really putting it out around your house where you live. And you can do a number of things. You can buy decorations. You can cut out pictures from magazines and newspapers. And I like that idea. And I'm a big fan of homemade decorations, of what you can do around the house. of hanging and making decorations. It can be a great family togetherness, family bonding activity. I'm going to talk about some art projects that you can do together, and you can do it together at a family meeting. I have posted a whole video about creating successful family meetings, and you might want to watch that one again too. Um, but I'm really going to talk in detail about some projects that you can do together as a family. And again, for decorations, we can buy them, we can cut from magazines or newspapers, we can make them. What about posting photographs of previous Halloweens with you and your family? Or do you have any pictures of costumes that you wore when you were a child? And second, I really encourage you to plan in advance your discussions with kids about costumes. So your discussions can be more than the one question, what do you want to be? And I'm going to give you some discussion questions that might really be fun for you to discuss with your child. And even if you know the answers to some of the questions, it's really fun for them and a good experience for them to speak and express themselves. So of course, the first question is, what do you want to be for Halloween? What costume do you want? And then it's really helpful to ask, why do you want to be this costume? Even if you know the answer to it, listen to what they'll say and how they explain it. You might also want to ask, what other costumes or characters could you think of that you might go as a backup to this one? And when they pick their character that they want to be, what does a costume for this character include? Does it include a hat or a belt or a scarf or a colored pattern or specific colors? And what about this one? How will you feel when you're wearing this costume, to be dressed as this character? So you want to stimulate and stir your kid's imagination. You want it to be more than Susan wearing a Superwoman costume, or Robert wearing a Superman costume. What does it feel to be wearing that costume? What can you do to really feel like this character? I use the example of Superman or Superwoman. Or what if you're a cat or a dog or a rabbit or one of many other costumes? And how will you communicate when you're this character, when you're a cat or a dog? So it's not just the costume, it's the discussions about the costumes that can really be interesting and can be thought-provoking and memorable. So let's think about those. And even if you know the answers to the questions, let your kids express themselves, because they sometimes really enjoy getting their thoughts out and knowing that you're interested. And you can discuss with your kids, if you choose a costume to wear, you can answer the same questions, why you chose this, what it will feel like to wear the costume, or what you can think of to become your character. You can talk about costumes that you wore for Halloween when you were a child. Or what are some Halloween memories that you have? Did you go trick-or-treating? What did that feel like? What did you get? So again, it's the experiences, not just the costume itself, that helps make Halloween memorable. And plan the treats in advance and have discussions with your kids about how much they'll be able to consume and the need to store some of them, how much they'll be able to eat over time. And again, I'm going to talk about some specific art projects that really can be great for the family. And I'm going to give you 3 special tips about planning for Halloween. But first, I want to talk about throwing in those educational and learning experiences. So first is books. There are many books around at different reading levels for kids that you can get. And For young kids, you'll be reading to your kids. For older kids, you can be reading with your kids. You can take turns reading pages, or you can have discussions on the characters, on the stories. You can write and tell stories about Halloween. And one idea that I really like is around Halloween, there are a lot of really topical words that we're going to see around a lot. And I think it's a great opportunity to call your kids' attention to a lot of these words that they're going to be seeing throughout the season around and before Halloween, so that not only they'll recognize the words, but they'll learn the spelling of certain words like pumpkin and costume, trick, treat, Halloween, ghost, and other costumes as well. So I think these are really helpful things that we can do. And some of the art projects that I'm going to talk about have some educational aspects to them as well. So I want to talk about 3 specific art projects that I think can be great projects for kids' parties or great projects for families, for family meetings, family get-togethers. So one is what I call a 3D mural. You want to start with a large cardboard poster board, an empty cardboard poster board, or it could be the back of a box that you don't need. And have around some wrapped candies or colorful wrappers that you use as candies for trick-or-treating. Have some colorful paper, crayons, markers, paints, colored pencils, whatever kind of art instruments you'd like to have around. And you could have the kids take turns going up to the mural, putting on some wrappers or papers, or drawing things that they would like to put on the mural. It could be kids taking turns as a party, or people in the family taking turns going up. Or you can take the mural and make some lines and make specific sections for different people. And everybody has their area on the mural to design the way they like. And at the end of the activity, you have a 3D mural that's celebratory of the party, of the season, of the family meeting that can last way beyond Halloween. So that can be a lot of fun and very memorable. And next is what I call a pumpkin art project. And again, what I like about a lot of art projects is when they're simple and easy, not complicated, not confusing, simple and easy. And this is a good example of one that's very simple, very easy. And this is to cut out the simple shape of a pumpkin. And you could cut it out of a magazine, newspapers, advertisements. Cut out the shape of a pumpkin as a template and make a copy. You could cut it out of orange paper if you have, or even white paper. And everybody gets their own pumpkin, and everybody designs it with crayons or markers or colored strips of paper that they can glue on with a glue stick. They can make a smiley face, a frown, whatever they'd like to do to design their pumpkin. And at the end of the activity of a party with children or of a family group meeting, you have a whole group of pumpkins that you can hang up. Or if it's a party, the kids can take home. But if it's a family meeting, you can hang everybody's up around the house as a decoration. You can hang them all on a string across a room. And again, these can be an important part of the season and the way we recognize and prepare for Halloween. And the third activity that I like to talk about is a Happy Halloween recycled art project. And what I suggest is that you have a template of letters of the words Happy Halloween. So there are two of each of these letters, two H's, A's, P's, L's, and E's, and one YOWN for Happy Halloween. And you'll have a cutout of each letter. So there'll be an H, there'll be an A. Again, all of the letters will have a template. And the kids can use this template and take some magazines that you're going to recycle, or newspapers or advertisements that you're really planning to recycle, and cut out the letters. So you'll have a colorful display that says Happy Halloween. Now, if the kids aren't old enough to cut the templates, then you can cut for them the letters Happy Halloween, even in white or from newspapers or whatever paper, and the kids can draw on top of it and make it colorful. So again, we want to make these art projects age appropriate, and this type of template can really be conducive to colorful displays that you can have around the house. I do want to mention, and again, I hope the art projects are going to be fun. And again, I'm really hoping for a lot of fun for Halloween. So I just can't help thinking about the fun that we can have. And again, I'm trying to share this spirit early on and right away. So, and those art projects can be part fun, part educational, and part functional to provide decorations around the house. I do want to mention a couple of safety recommendations. So be careful using any candles with decorations around the house. I know sometimes people carve jack-o'-lanterns and put candles in the pumpkins, and sometimes there are candles as decorations around the house. And of course, always be really careful when there are candles around. Second, if your costumes include full face masks, especially for kids, make sure the eye holes are lined up with the kids' eyes so they can see very carefully where they're going so they don't fall. And third, and we really are opening up in society from the pandemic, but especially, and there are going to be more parties and parades this year, but if you or your child are not feeling well, make sure you take care and do what you need to do. We really want to still be careful with regard to COVID. Let's keep everybody safe. But hopefully, everybody will stay healthy, and we're going to be spreading this spirit of Halloween around. So we all are excited about it. So I wanted to mention those three special tips that I was telling you that I have about Halloween. And the first, let's start celebrating now. Don't wait for October 31st or the night before or even the week before. You can extend and enhance the joy and the fun that you and your family feel at Halloween time by starting in advance, making those decorations, taking out those books, thinking about what you're going to use for trick-or-treating, and all of the areas that we've discussed. Because Halloween is a season, it's not just one day. So let's think of it as a season. Let's plan in advance. And my second special reminder is we always think of Halloween for kids and what the kids are going to do and what they want to get dressed up as. But I always want to remind parents that Halloween should be fun for you too. So what does that mean for you? What can you do to make Halloween fun for you too? Would you like to wear a costume? Would you like to participate in making decorations or in art projects? Would you like to share some of your Halloween memories with your kids and tell them perhaps what you got dressed up in when you were a child? So think about what can make Halloween special for you also. And third is don't forget to slip in those educational and learning activities for kids. Those books, those discussions, the art projects, writing stories, talking about what they like about Halloween, what they've done and got what they've been dressed up as for previous Halloweens can really be fun. So those 3 tips, I think, can really be helpful. I want to hear about your plans for Halloween. So please, in the comments, tell me about some of the decorations that you're making for your home. Tell me about the hot costumes this year around where you are. What are your kids getting dressed up as or their friends? Are you getting dressed up as? Let me know in the comments what's going on in your life for Halloween. And I do want to also include this eye-popping part that I've promised you. So again, I hope that everybody is raising spirits, starting to feel the spirit of Halloween. I know, I'm so excited, my eyes are popping out. So I hope everybody is having fun thinking about how you will celebrate Halloween. Remember that a lot of the planning, the time before October 31st, is what helps create the memories, the plans, the discussion, the talks, the spending time together. So make sure you do that. As you know, this is a full scope home for parents and families. So make sure you come back each week. Each week I have a new topic. I do want to mention that in about a month, I'm going to have a special topic about planning for Thanksgiving and family traditions, family recipes. So make sure you do come back for that as well. I'm so glad to have you here in the Halloween spirit with me today, and so glad to raise the spirit and topics about Halloween. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, please hit thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so that when I come out with other videos, you will be getting them. And I will be back each week with a new topic, a new talk that should be of interest to you. Again, in about a month, we'll be talking about Thanksgiving. So I will see you again in a week. And until then, be empowered and let's get together again soon. And let's really enjoy this season leading up to Halloween.